this action from round 5 of the Extreme Festival, proudly brought to you by our associate sponsors. Driver and fan interaction is what the crowd see, and you can see very happy to get in amongst the National Production Car Championship contenders here at Aldo Scribante. Once the photographs have been taken, a couple of selfies and a couple of ones in the car, it was time to go racing for heat number 3 of National Production Cars.
Well, Greg, it's been a real mixed bag of results over the first 2 heats. Heat 3, what is it going to be? We know that Michael Stephen has been really fast, and Henny Groenewald has been looking to capitalize on the win that he got in race 2.
I think it's going to be a battle between those 2 Sassel Racing Audis, to be very honest with you. Michael Stephen has got it all to do if he wants to try and walk away from his home track with a closer advantage or even the lead of this championship. You can see just how difficult that's going to be. Stephen hangs on as they go into turn 1. Remember, he would have been the fastest in race 1, which is why he's on pole. And on his tail are the 2 Sassel Racing Audis. And they are still side by side after turn 3. Incredible stuff. Look at that. Enough room given by both of the drivers. And that is some great racing.
Well, we're just saying how quick that GTI came down the main straight. Graham Nathan really got a good start, but now we're into the twisties. This is where it's going to get tough for him. Looking in the rearview mirror, trying to get defensive, but also trying to find a way past.
Simon Moss went defensive, and Graham Nathan just had to take his normal line. Oh, he got a little tap from behind from Michael van Rooyen. Won't be happy about that. So van Rooyen yet again having a little bit of rub, and in fact, it's loosened the bonnet ever so slightly. So that could be a hindrance to Michael van Rooyen in Lightning McQueen.
Well, he'll be driving now, wondering when it's going to fly up and ruin his vision. So it's not the best way to drive, but I'm pretty sure he's just focused on Graham Nathan in front of him, just like Gennaro Bonafide is trying to focus on getting past Henny Groenewald.
In fact, he's got to try and do that as quickly as possible, because at the front end, Michael Stevens already opened up about 6 or 7 car lengths over the 2 Sassel Racing Audis. There you can see from Bonafide's point of view, how good is he on the brakes? There we go. Both almost identical braking positions there for the 2 Sassel Racing Audis, and Simon Moss followed them into turn 1 at almost the exact same point. Then it's the GTI of Nathan. And whoa! Speaking of late braking, that's not where you want to be braking, Mr. Ellis. Got it a little bit squirrely and locked up that front wheel.
Oh, there we go, the 143. Unfortunately, Nias Modok having such a great day, it's come to an end as he pulls off the track, and that's going to ruin his overall.
Overall, and also look at the championship for Class X too, because he leads that championship. You cannot afford to get a DNF. However, you remember what we always say, you don't win a championship on your best day, you win it on your worst day. He's already taken 2 victories here today, so parking the car in the 3rd race, well, if there's a problem, might not be a bad idea. Let's get it all sorted out, because we are heading back down to the Eastern Cape in a few weeks' time to East London Grand Prix Circuit, where that car will be very, very quick.
I can't fault the effort of Simon Moss riding in front of his home crowd, and he's put in every bit of effort and sometimes getting a little too close to other cars, but it's not through lack of trying. He'll be trying to get up there on the podium.
Oh, Graham Nathan waving Van Rooyen through. I wonder if there's a problem on the GTI. He's telling him to go around the outside, and does he do that? Well, we didn't quite get to see it, but I'm sure we will in a few seconds' time. The 4 Audis go through there. Then it's Riddle from Frick Blichnout Jr. Nice drive here from the 29 car of Gerard Oosthuizen, and he's going extremely well and actually up into 3rd place in Class X. So great stuff there, but Ellis is right with him, and I think those 2 are going to fight for the final podium position in Class X.
Definitely been great to watch Class X. The guys have driven really, really well. And like I said, they are in slightly older cars, but no fault with their driving, that's for sure. Back with the front, and it's the 3 Audis got away from the rest of the pack. Simon Moss has gone missing, so must have made a mistake in one of the turns, and it's the 2 Sassel Racing entries that are trying to fight to get past Michael Stephen in the front, who is doing a fantastic job.
Desperate to get past on Stephen now, because if he takes this victory, he will also take the overall for the day. Doesn't really give him much in terms of other than the honours. They got 1 more lap to go as they're going to come across the line now. So Michael Stephen's got to hang on for about 3 kilometres. Can he do this? Incredible driving from Stephen. Gennaro Bonafide, I think, is going to settle here for 3rd place, unless something goes wrong with his teammate and Michael Stephen. He's not quite close enough, in my opinion, to make any manoeuvres on those 2, but stranger things have happened in National Production Cars.
Great driving there, Michael Stephen. Driving up the right-hand side of that main straight can always be a little tricky, because you're sometimes on the marbles there and you don't know what's going to happen when you're braking into turn 1. But all good, kept it together and still in the front. It is very close, but they're getting into traffic now. This could change things.
Around the outside of George Smallberger in the Shield GTI, which is giving them enough room. Gennaro Bonafide might use the advantage of some of the back markers now. Smallberger was 1. They're coming up on me a little bit further up the road there, but I think it's going to be very tight between those 2 Sassel Racing Audis. I'm not quite sure who's going to take it between them. Stephen, I think, has got it.
Yes, getting away from the two Sassel Racing Audis. I think Henny Groenewold is just looking to consolidate second place. It'll be good for his championship, but they've got a whole lot of backmarkers to deal with. Ahmed, not too sure which direction to go. Does he get out of the way in time? Michael Stephen, a little bit of panic there, I'm sure, but gets a good drive out of the final turn, and that's now a drag race to the finish.
Oh, nice move there from Ahmed, to be honest with you. Just held his line and allowed the Foster cars to go around the outside of him. And they managed to get across the line and no problems whatsoever. But a great drive there from Michael Stephen. That is an overall victory at his home circuit. 2 wins on the day. Henny Groenewold, though, will lead this championship, leaving this round and going down to East London.
So just a confirmation of the results then. Michael Stephen with the win in race 3. Henny Groenewold, Gennaro Bonafide, Simon Moss and Michael van Rooyen in that Chevy.
The Riddler takes the Class X in his BMW, and in the championship points heading to the next round, Michael Stephen has now taken a 3-point lead over Henny Groenewold and Gennaro Bonafide, further 8 points back from there. Gary Famato will be back in action in East London. We look forward to seeing the battle continue in national production cars. First, let's catch up with our championship leader, Michael Stephen.
Yeah, having started pole from fastest lap in race 1, kept the lead and had a good race. Finally a win for the day. I put some pressure on Henny in race 2 and he won it, and he did the same in race 3. So there were some yellow flags in turn 1 the whole race, which saved me a little bit. But he was quicker in certain places and I was quicker in certain places. But all in all, a good way to end the day.
A stalwart of Port Elizabeth is Terry Moss from Terry Moss Racing. How did the day go, Terry?
I think for Port Elizabeth, this is yet another win. In the past, we've always bragged with the best motorsport events. And the crowd, the 15,000 plus crowd here today, the awesome weather that we've had. Normally we're the windy city, but it behaved today. I think it was magnificent racing.